is Josie Bowman, and my presentation topic is on Streptococcus mutans and tooth decay. The two actually go hand in hand, and you'll see why. This topic actually goes hand in hand with my career path. I'm going to be a dental hygienist. So let's get started. What is S. mutans? S. mutans is a bacteria that uses acids and sugars to eat away at the teeth underneath plaque. Just a rundown of the tooth anatomy, because not many people know what the inside of a tooth looks like. First of all, you have the enamel. It's the hardest substance in the body. It's right here. And it's the outermost layer of the tooth that is actually above the gum line, because if you notice, this does not go below the gum line, which is right here. The dentin, it's the porous layer of the tooth just under the enamel. It is the orange stripes little section here. It's very porous. That's very important for a lot of people to know. And the pulp is the innermost nerve portion of the tooth, and those of you that have experienced dental pain, that's where your cavities are going, to the pulp. And what that is when the cavity gets so large and it gets larger and larger and it reaches this section of the tooth, that's where the nerves are, thus causing you pain. Okay, dental caries. Another word for dental caries are cavities. Streptococcus mutans attach themselves to other bacteria in the mouth to form a biofilm called plaque. It allows acids to adhere to the tooth surface and then begins to eat away at the tooth, like I had mentioned earlier. Just for everyone's information, 60 to 90% of children have cavities, and nearly 100% of adults have cavities. So those people that don't have any cavities, that's really rare. This is just a photo, obviously indicating pain with the red around it. This is actually a drill bit going into the tooth, going into the nerve. This is the reason we need to be numbed up before we go to the dentist, or before we get a procedure done. FYI, with heart disease, the teeth and the heart go hand in hand as well. Why is the prevention of tooth decay important to us? Tooth decay can lead to other more serious conditions such as heart disease. The teeth can have the ability to poison your heart, and this can lead to cardiac arrest. And generally when this happens, an abscess is present, and what happens is the abscess gets into the bloodstream, and then the bloodstream goes to the heart, and then it's not a pretty sight. So everybody should take really good care of their teeth. I mentioned earlier that sugars played a big role in this. Are sugars bad? Well, yes and no. Some argue that if we reduce the amount of sugar intake, we can also reduce the chances of tooth decay. However, they're missing one important aspect. Sugar is required for the process of forming biofilm, but it is also required by our bodies to perform everyday functions. So therefore, we cannot just reduce sugars and hope that our teeth will stay healthy. So it's a necessary evil, if you will. What is a biofilm? There's a bunch of different examples of biofilm, like shower scum. We have to clean our showers monthly because the film forms on the walls. It's soap scum. Algae in the swimming pool, that is also a form of a biofilm, and plaque is a form of a biofilm as well. Okay, so the formation of a plaque biofilm, basically sugars are required for glycolysis, and then in that there's a product of acid that is made between the two, or three, should I say, and then the acid damages the tooth surface, and that is how our teeth get damaged. with cavities. And this is all happening underneath the biofilm, either plaque or calculus. Plaque is the soft kind, calculus is the hard kind. One more important aspect are the pH levels in the mouth. On a pH scale, the demineralization threshold of a tooth is at 5.5. After meals and snacks, the pH levels drop below the demineralization threshold for hours at a time, which is crucial. Research shows that this is an ongoing issue when it comes to preventing cavities. And this is just a scale of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and usually a lot of people like to just drink soda or a snack like in the middle of the day. If you can see, breakfast, the threshold goes down, and this is the more acidic side, and this is the more basic side. But it goes down at breakfast, comes back up, plateaus, goes back down at lunch, comes back up, and if you drink a soda, it plummets right down. So, I mean, one tip though is that if you will drink soda with a meal, it helps to neutralize the acids, so your teeth aren't decaying right before your eyes. So that is just one good tip for everybody to know. Lactic acid, the byproduct. Lactic acid has the ability to dissolve calcium molecules, which create holes in the teeth. Some scientists think that Streptococcus mutants evolved to secrete such acid. Others imply that it was not evolution that made this change, but a mutation. Hence, Streptococcus mutans. Forms of prevention. It says, can you just brush away plaque? No, you can't. Because the biofilm that is formed is very hard and poses as if it were your actual tooth surface. It gets, that's when it's called calculus. It hardens and then it becomes calculus. And they think, oh, it's just my tooth. I'm brushing my tooth. No, they're actually brushing the biofilm that is forming cavities underneath. Can antibiotics or disinfectants help? No, because you don't want to risk losing the good bacteria along with the bad bacteria in your mouth. Do dental cleanings help improve plaque? Yes, they do. Dental hygienists have tools that scrape plaque off of the tooth surface and even tough to reach areas like underneath the gum line. This was a video, but I decided I'm not going to show it, but it is Wenyanshi's solution. He's actually using lollipops to help get rid of the bad bacteria in the mouth. And here's a rundown of what he did. The search for a designer killer. Wenyanshi said that what we really want to do is try to detect a pathogen way before they are damaging the tooth. In order to get rid of S mutants, we must find a cure that only attacks the bacteria and leaves the good bacteria alone, like I had mentioned before. She compares our oral mucosa to a lawn with weeds in it. And if you use a herbicide to a lawn, it will kill the weeds, but it will also kill the grass, which you don't want. But the weeds would be the first to grow back. Bacteria continue to grow in our mouths, although the lollipops with licorice, which were in the video, seem like a great invention. The bad bacteria will begin to regenerate shortly after finishing the lollipop. So, I mean, you have to continuously be eating this candy. But the FDA says that Dr. John's candies, which were the lollipops, are generally recognized as safe. This is just a little tidbit in there. There's green tea, and it's a positive compound that facilitates in stopping the spread of acids, which could therefore help and prevent cavities as well. And this is just my references page. Thank you very much.